wants a cheeky?
The Saturday Pod is on search, now sponsored by Cheeky. You know, got robbed the bank in the building. For anyone who doesn't know you, where did everything start for you? Obviously, we've known you for a while now, but take us back to the Nelson days.
Oh, the Nelson days. Oof.
In the sun.
Probably maybe like year 10, I first dabbled a bit. Used to be on Ableton for a bit, but I just had fun. I always thought I was going to be Calvin Harris. This is the next thing, Bauhaus. I was trying my hardest.
So that's the first genre you kind of stepped into?
Yeah, man, the classic piano, just triplets, just boom, 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 boom. That shit. Did that all the time. I pretty much listened to Chief Keef, and it changed my life.
Did you ever DJ Nate?
Did I ever DJ Nate? No, I never DJ'd. But my mate, how I got my name was...
Wasn't Calvin Harris a DJ?
Yeah, but he made a lot of house. My mate comes in, when I was making house or making some random beats or whatever, and he goes, "Oh, do you know it'd be so hard if just before the drop, it just came in and was like, rock the bank!" And then it dropped, and that's how I got my name. And it was originally just going to be for beats, like a beat tag, but then I just kind of decided to start spitting some bars.
How did you find yourself making rap music in Nelson?
It was more just overseas influences. So I had my group of friends who listened to a lot of overseas underground, like UK, West London feel, like this kind of jazz, slow, push rap, and I would just call myself off guard by how captivating it was. Like, it really just, I don't know, made me feel relaxed at the same time as like, this is groovy as hell. Like, this has got some fire bars to it. This has got a good feel.
Was there any live acts that came that inspired you to do so? Or no?
Nah, not really.
Nah?
No. I mean,
Did you go to any shows?
Nah, I never really went to shows. The first show I went to actually was, I went to, who was it? I remember Savage used to play at Melba's. Yeah. She used to play at Melba's. I went to Bryson Tiller in Auckland, and that was the day before, the day before Mac Miller, and I was like so gutted that I missed Mac Miller for that. But
why did you not go to Mac?
Couldn't afford it. Broke boy. I gave my ticket to my brother. He was there, so I was like, "Here you go. Here's my ticket." And now there's no chance of going to Mac Miller ever again.
Why not? Cole. Bro, you're behind on the culture, Cole.
Yeah, catch up real quick. Anyway, so when was this?
Oh, I would have been 17. 17? Yeah. Would have been about 17. I also went to see someone else in Auckland. Went to a few festivals, of course, like the Bay Dreams in Nelson, the first one. They had no water there, bro. It was horrible. You beaming sun, one tree. There's probably about 20,000 people in this area. I think it was that big, I don't know. But just 1,000 people under one tree. It was just so bad. No water. But hey, the last one I went to was mean there. Sorted it out.
What's your earliest memory of rap music? When was it the first time you heard it?
Scribe the Crusader.
Really?
It was the first album I ever got. It was Crusader, Scribe, and then I also got Graduation by Kanye the same day.
Were you bumping C4 back then too?
What's that?
C4?
So, yeah.
That's the OG.
Yeah, the OG. Yeah.
OG.
Yeah, facts.
And then going from just dabbling in music, when did you feel like you kind of started to establish your sound? I know you went to London and when you were 18 after high school. So do you want to tell us a bit about that and what you kind of got up to there?
London, when I went to London, it was just like a travel experience, man. We just went there we went initially traveling for 9 months, just all through Europe, and then a bit of Morocco, North Africa.
Did you go by yourself?
Traveled. Nah, I was with Maddie, and we were just chilling, and then went back to London to the point where we just ended up finding a job and working there. And then after being there for a while, I decided to venture out and try to find where the scene was and what was happening. And that's why I stumbled upon these studios in Ladbroke Grove. And you'd go to them and you just, this is in 2018. So this is when a lot of these underground, they were underground then. And they were starting to blow up. So you'd go in there and you'd just be surrounded by a lot of well-known rappers, but in the different studios. it was just so crazy going there and just having that experience. I really liked I went to a couple, like one boiler room set, which was really cool. It was just, a cool experience. The whole feel of being in a culture that was so unfamiliar with, but also in the culture that I really liked, I guess. I really enjoyed that feel.
Who were some of the
It
rappers?
was cool. I think, no, like, certainly, but definitely, like, Maverick Grove was, like, the hub of a lot of that area. Like, and then you go to, like, West London and you got, like, Shepherd's Bush and all of that stuff. But, like, you'd hear stories of people like AJ Tracy's just in the room there, or you'd go over here and there's Slow Tie there. And this is all when they were quite underground, when they weren't, like, fully popping. I think 219, I remember I had a flatmate in the warehouse we were staying at, and he's like, I'm going to this gig doing photos for this gig at Alexandra Palace, which is a venue. And he said, do you want to come? And I said, no, probably not. I really should have. I don't know why I didn't. But then he comes back the next day and he's like, yeah, taking photos of AJ Tracy backstage, looking at all this crap. But I was like, man, that would have been so sick to go see.
Did you have many chances to interact with a lot of artists you were fucking with at the time over there?
I had the odd chance. I used to talk. I've spoken to like Finn Fox a little bit. Spoke to Lord Apex a little bit, but not really got that real connection, I guess. But it was just cool to be in that scene.
Yeah, for you, was that the first kind of scene you felt like a part of?
It was just bizarre because you're there to network, obviously, but at the same time, everyone's also there, like, to push each other. There's a bit of clickiness, I guess, in some areas, but the majority of it is just like, link up with this dude, you go to a party with them, and then you meet all of his mates, you link up with this
Did you
dude.
find like when you came back you had to move out of, small town Nelson and
Oh yeah,
find people that are trying to push it,
yeah.
try to do something more?
The hands down. That's why coming to Wellington was a huge thing, because I didn't know anyone in Wellington when I first came up here in this scene. And then Dan messaged me, which was fucking outrageously great timing, like perfect timing.
How did you find out about Rob the Bank?
You told me, cunt.
Was that me?
Set yourself up for that question.
Cole told me, and he's like, no, I don't know him that well, so don't say like I told you, but no, checked out Rob's music. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how did you hear about Colin?
Yeah, how did you hear about him? That's the question.
I got ears on the street, and I'm just part of the culture, and I've always been part of the culture. If you think no one's listening to your stuff, I'm listening to it. So yeah.
You explain the actual way though?
Yeah, me and my brother having a session now, so then he put it on.
What's up?
Was paint a picture when he did with Maddie, so I was chilling. I was like, yo, this cat can't be from Nelson. And then he said he was from Nelson Boys. I'm like, this guy can't be from Nelson.
Were you at the same school?
No. And then I went to a better school. But yeah, long story short, introduced Dan to Rob, and now we're here. Recent history, yeah.
I used to take Dan up to my room, my bedroom studio.
Where was that at?
Left bank,
Left bank.
Kiwi Street. It was so funny.
What do you have set up in there? Like how?
Being set up the exact same, literally the exact same as upstairs. It's not much different at all. It's like,
That's all you need, though.
yeah, I think I just got a new mic, a little bit more organized, like stuff like cables and better quality stuff, but better plugins. But
How did you first start to navigate like the Wellington, or even like New Zealand music scene once you got to Wellington?
I still haven't navigated it. I have no idea. I don't really know anything about the New Zealand scene. I'm trying to get a bit more into it. I really like a lot of the Wellington artists that we have here at the moment. But I don't really know any of the Auckland ones or anything outside of Wellington, which I'm keen to like get involved with or see what happens. But I've definitely found pushing it, like being part of the Wellington community, it seems to be a good way to go. It's pretty tight, and no one's cliquey or anything. It's safe.
That's why I feel like the best part about like, I don't know, the Wellington scene is that like no one is cliquey. Like everyone's just like out here like trying to get pushy everyone. Like,
What was the first body of work you did? Was it Albion Parade?
No, yeah, kind of.
There was singles, but you bundled it.
The Albion Parade was 2 singles and then 10 new songs. But then Heat Check with Webster was probably my first like little bundle of things. That was such a funny one to make, man. We were just like, that's one of those EPs where you just don't really know what you're doing, but you're just having fun. And you're just saying random shit and having so much fun doing it. And that was exactly what that is. And I think you can tell by the energy. We sound young, but also like,
This is video for one of those ones.
yeah. Shout out Jason Oldfield for filming that. But no, Albion Parade would be my first proper project, but it hasn't really got. I haven't found like. I think I'm just starting to find my real feel and what I can really like. I guess, what do you put it? Define it or whatever. I can really affect it. Yeah, the feel that I want, which is a good thing. It's been a long time coming for that.
How do you think you came to that? Was it just like making a bunch of stuff and like throwing shit at the wall, or was it just...
Yeah, just finding what your voice actually sounds natural over, and finding what your initial like thought process of making a song is. Like, what instruments do you like? Where's the brass come from? Do you like brass, or do you have do you like Rhodes? I love Rhodes. I think Rhodes are one of the smoothest, silkiest sounding like instruments there is. And then you can go with that you can kind of build off of it. But I like the dark. I still do like the dark trappy stuff, and I still will continue to do that. But yeah, I just think the jazzy feel is definitely a suit for me.
Did you experiment with a lot of genres? What do you reckon your favorite one is to make?
Post-punk's actually, like, that feels real fun to make. It's not necessarily musically hard. It's very like, it's kind of just you have one feel and you stick with that the whole way through. You don't really change it up a whole heap. You just kind of go with it. And it's kind of, post-punk was kind of born from an era where people would pick up a guitar and not know how to play any chords or anything, and they would just like absolutely fuck around.
Yeah, go with what they feel.
And that's how you'd find those great like simplistic but really catchy riffs and the stuff. And then when the real music, like the really talented musicians came in with the knowing how to do the like post-punk feel and pushing it together, was like crazy, like The Cure and that kind of feel.
What are some of the post-punk artists that you like the most?
I really like The Cure, but at the moment I really, really like ECC. I'd say he's up there for me. I like that, his feel. He's got a really wide feel.
Do you feel like experimenting in different genres behind the scenes, like you got your yeet shit, you do the indie stuff and then everything else, do you feel you like learn a bit from each little genre?
Yeah, hands down. You learn the simplistic wordplay is all about, like for the yeet stuff, it's like not hard bars, but it's all about how it flows and sounds. You're pretty much just trying to create a melody with your voice. You're not talking about, you can talk about stuff that's serious or whatever, but your main goal is just to find a catchy flow.
Make a feeling.
And yeah, make a feeling and be weird. And it seems to work. But I'll probably never post any of that stuff, but it's just fun to make. It's just funny.
Some of it is posted.
Some of it? Well, yeah, it is.
You won't find it though.
You won't find it.
If you dig deep enough, you'll find it.
If you dig deep as.
Bring your spades, boys.
Nah, I just love going around finding what works, what doesn't, what's fun, what you can do under the influence.
Because you produce majority of your beats too, eh?
Yeah, a lot of them. A few I haven't, but a lot of them, if I like a beat, I'm kind of weird. If I like a beat, I try to almost recreate it, but in a different way. I'll try to keep that same feeling, but just different. But a couple beats I definitely have just brought off people, because I think if you buy a beat, you just have to be like, this person's made a banging beat, credit them, like pay for it. If you doing well with it, just make sure you support them as much as they're supporting you, because you're the one who used the beat in a way.
Exactly.
How important do you think it is for like artists like yourself to kind of learn as many aspects of the craft as possible, you know, like the producing and
Oh, it's definitely, it means you can really control what you want to do. You can really get specific in how you want it to be or how you want it to feel. But and saying that, having people around you to help you and share their ideas is also crazy, which I'm yet to experience fully, which I really want to work with other musicians, but I haven't really reached out or tried to put the effort into it yet. I'd love to get in a studio with a band or some like choirs or something. Just see what you can come up with.
recently you got a taste of working in the studio with like a few producers over in the States when you went about this time last year. How was it? What was it like working with like industry renowned producers and kind of being in that environment?
Interesting. They actually were very like welcoming with open arms. I only got like one session in, but it was just cool to be surrounded and see their workflow and notice that it's not much different to what you do in your bedroom or at home. I think that's the biggest part, and they're just always sending files across to each other. They'll all be in the same room. Someone will make a melody, send that file to that computer. This person will do the drums over that, and then this person's got a guitar lead or something. This guy's doing vocals. There's like 4 of them in a room just going ballistic, and that just they make a beat that sounds incredible within like an hour. It's just so sick to see.
Who was some of the producers that you met?
I met up with 2 for 1. And there's a guy called Tommy Parker, and he was doing a lot of vocal chops, and he was saying it was kind of this group called the Rebels.
Yeah.
And I was luckily enough to get an invite to go and hang out with them and see what they did. It was only just for a short session, but it was just really cool to get my name in there and like see what would happen and see if anything comes from it.
Well, yeah, that's crazy because like 2-4 produced like a lot of Jack Harlow stuff, and same with Timmy. He produced like a lot of Vince Staples stuff.
Tommy,
Tommy.
a lot of Vince Staples' latest album, which was.
Didn't he do Keem too?
He did, yeah. He's done heaps.
That's crazy.
Heaps. Like that whole Rebels group is like Doja, Kendrick, J. Cole, like so many artists, and it's just blows my mind to think that. Well, they I think there's like 15 of them in that group, and they all just do. They're really like good at certain sections, and that's where they all just.
So they've all found their strengths and then just like made a super producer.
Yeah, exactly. It was just, it's crazy. Look, the Rebels group on Instagram is what.
How did you get your like foot in the door to meet those guys?
I just spam 2 for 1. No, not gonna lie. I messaged them. No, I just messaged them a couple years ago saying, "Hey bro, I really like your beats. Am I able to buy a beat off you? Bloody, but I'd love to work with you." And then he actually just had me back and said, "Yeah, for sure." And he said we could maybe collab on a beat together. And then we FaceTimed, and it was just so bizarre, just in the Murray having a FaceTime with someone who's made some of my favourite beats. And then when I went to the States, I was like, this could be an opportunity to meet him. So I messaged him a couple of times, and we're always in different places. And then there was the last week I was there. He said he was in LA, and I said, "Oh, sweet, I'll take you out for breakfast." And we went out for breakfast, and then he said he had a studio session. And then I said, "Oh, if it's all good, if I can come, then I'd love that." And then went back to the backpackers and got the text, and then went to the studio. It was super cool. But yeah, it was just cool to have that experience. Not saying that anything can come from it, but you never know, something could come from it. It's more like he's got connections here in New Zealand now, which is a bonus for me and a bonus for them.
How much of the music industry do you think comes down to networking?
Oh, everything, 100%. It's like, if the music's there and you can be friendly and cool and calm and also still represent yourself well, you're doing very, like, that is key. Very key. It's just fun, man. It's just more like if you find another person with a passion for music, it's like you can sit there for hours listening to the same thing over and over and over again.
Do you think it's important to surround yourself with like-minded people all kind of doing creative stuff?
Yeah, no, this doesn't. Yeah, like-minded for creative things. I think it's really good to surround yourself and people who are not only like successful in what they do, but also who have a drive. It might not be the same drive as you, but they're working towards something. And I think that's like seriously important. And that's a routine is crucial to like what you want to do and who you want to be and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I really agree with that. That's why, like, I think Wendy has helped out a lot of people in a sense, because, like, fuck, like, legit, if I didn't find all you guys, like, fuck, I don't even know if I'd still be, like, doing shit.
I couldn't imagine if we weren't all waking up doing shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a different fucking world.
Yeah, thanks. So when did you start rapping, Cole?
Oh, I've been rapping for a while now, but no one believed in me, but Rob did. And you want to like touch on what's coming up next for you, like a project or?
Oh yeah. So I actually been working with this producer from Canada. His name's Graphwise. He's done a few beats for like Freddie Gibbs, a lot of Teddy Andreas' stuff. He's very plugged up in a way. He's got this connection that is in the field that I'm really intrigued in. Like I want to get to know that side of music and stuff. But yeah, we've got a tape that's coming out called The Bank Vault, and it's gonna be like, it might be a series, this could be volume 1, and it could turn into a series. But it's definitely on the chiller rap vibe. It's got a special feature in there from someone who's actually crazy on a mic. Yeah. First time spitting on a track too, so he fucking killed it. But I'm pretty excited for that to come out.
Yo.
Yeah.
We on. Stay tuned.
It's his big break.
We're on the block.
It's coming in.
So, right, so go from like releasing music to going to live shows. Have you had to learn how to be a performer rather than, someone who's?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. You just so like that first, even now, like I don't think it'll ever go, but that feeling just before you're about to go and you're like, oh fuck, I'm nervous as hell.
What's running through your mind?
Adrenaline, bro.
What, the word adrenaline?
Yeah, just everything, just adrenaline. Nah, honestly, just crazy running through your mind. You're just kind of like, I better fuck up the first words. Like that is the main thing. But as soon as you say like the first thing, it's just gone. You're kind of in your element, and I feel like it's something you're definitely like. If you kind of want to be on there, like let's be real, everyone, you want to be able to hype everyone up, bring everyone into your show, like make it feel fun and awesome.
Do you reckon it goes fast or slow?
Fast as hell. Fast
as hell.
It's like rapid fire. Like you finish a song,
and
yeah, literally rapid fire.
How did you find doing your first set of shows last year? You did 3 shows. What was it, the Dopamine tour or something?
Yeah, no, none of these guys were there. But it was me.
Yeah.
It looked like it was me, bro.
Seemed like it was managed pretty well, eh?
Yeah, whoever managed it fucking sucked us.
Oh, really? Did he pay you?
I did. He did. He did pay me.
It was like 3 red rolls and some chicken.
Yeah.
1 sausage roll, no sauce.
Nah, that's all I needed. I just needed some food on my belly and a good heart.
What was your favourite song to perform?
Lifestyle's mean, but at the same time, I actually really enjoyed coming on with Bruce Lee. I thought that was fun. Like, it just kind of brings the intensity up a little bit. But yeah, I feel like if now, when I did a live show, it wouldn't be it'd still be the rap stuff, but it would be a lot more, I guess, like hyper stuff, like things that people want to. Because you go to a show, you don't necessarily, unless you go into a specific type of show, but you kind of go to a show to dance and have fun and jump around. Like, so you tend to want to pick the songs that allow people to do that. But doing the rap stuff is always fun. It's always good to show off like a little bit of your rap side, how you actually record songs or how you do it when it's live. But doing the lifestyle is always fun. A lot of people know that hook, which is always the best part.
It was like 3 different, like, kind of different scenes and locations that you went to. Like, it was Auckland and Wellington and and then like there were places where did you have to kind of like do your set on the fly to like I don't know?
Oh no, definitely the Wellington one I had planned out, and I thought I was going to run that the whole way through, slide out. Well, just the set list I had planned out, but then on the fly, Auckland I did a couple new songs. Napier I did a new song. It was just more to just figure out where you gotta adjust to the crowd. You gotta like it's not you go in, you suss out what the vibe is, and then after that you can kind of go with what you're feeling. As long as you have all those songs in your head, then you're pretty good on your USB.
Even make a few songs for your set list that are just live songs, like the one with Webster and Body Funk. Yeah, it's always a vibe.
Man, I haven't seen Webster in ages. I need to get back in touch with that dude.
Webster, message Rob.
Yeah. No, I need to message him. Yeah, but that was live shows are fun as man.
And last year you also put out Left Bank, so tell us about the process behind that. That was quite a well-received mixtape.
Yeah, it was reasonably well received. I would say it was more something that I just needed to get out because I'd been sitting on a lot of those songs for so long. And yeah, it did well, of course. And it was just more, I need to get this out of like, it was one of those mixtapes where I had a few songs where I've just been sitting on for ages. And I was just like, I just need to get them out. I'm sick of sitting on them. And if I didn't put them out then I would probably never put them out. So that was kind of the idea behind that was like, okay, let's put together a mixtape that's newish, but also got a lot of the songs that are oldish, which gives them progression in a way, from Albion Parade to Left Banks and then so on to the next ones that it'll put out. I want to show progression. I think progression is a big part of being an artist and people can kind of grow with you. I think that's a huge part of it.
What song is a favourite off that album? Like, what song do you reckon represents you the most?
Off Left Bank, probably Fever. I'd say Fever or All I Need's got some bars in it. I really like that feel.
Yeah, it starts it off real well.
Yeah, it talks about life and a little bit more than all the others. Fever's like heartwarming feel. But no, yeah, I really like that. I really like that project from how it goes from rappy and trappy and then to indie and like, I guess, chill.
Where'd you get the name from, Left Bank?
I lived on Left Bank.
Oh, Cuba, yeah.
Yeah, so that's, and then Albion Parade was where I lived in England. So that was just street names I lived on.
Yeah.
Cara Drive coming up 2023. Yeah, oh no, you moved to Brooklyn now.
Can't give out the address. Shit.
Brooklyn. Find him. Ops. He's there. Who are Rob the Banks?
Ops. Rob the Banks Ops.
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus. Yeah. Jesus is why you're op. Why is Jesus your op?
No, I'm cool with Jesus. Jesus is great.
So how do you find having quite a Christian upbringing, going on to, the rap music scene? What do your parents think about that?
Did you used to sing in the choirs like a lot?
Is that where you got rapping? Because like scripture's pretty lyrical, like kind of rhyming.
Yeah, I wasn't brought up in a religious way. I was definitely more a suburban white boy.
What's something you wish you knew, like when you started?
Well, something I wish I knew when I started.
What could you tell the old Rob?
That's a tough one. I wish I knew how to play instruments before I started. I reckon that would help a lot. I still don't know how to play instruments.
Which instrument?
Oh, just piano. I think piano is like crucial.
Well, I gave you that keyboard.
I know.
You got it.
Just lazy, man. I should though.
Definitely should.
That another thing that I wish I knew before I started would be how this industry works. There's so much that goes on behind scenes that you don't see as a listener. You just see an album's out. You don't see like the 2 music videos that come out with it, the promotion that they've been putting on beforehand. Or like, you got to realize that at the end of the day, music is a passion, but it's also a business. And that's where you've got to, for a lot of people, for me even, it's quite hard to separate it from being an art and a passion and then also bringing it into the business state. Because the business state is where you're pretty much the face of your business and you are trying to obviously have a passion and make money off what you're doing, but also portraying yourself as a certain image, which is fucking hard to do. So I personally have been definitely doing it, like trying to find how I can be myself, but at the same time have a comfortable living.
Because when you're putting that much time, money, and effort into everything you do, like you do have to treat it seriously.
People say, yeah, of course it's a passion. No doubt about that. But there's definitely a certain side of you that's like, yeah, this is a hobby and a passion. But you always have that bit in the back of your brain. It's like, how can I do this for the rest of my life? Like, how can I survive off of doing this? And that's a huge thing in it, which I think people don't actually understand that what comes down to it is the business part of it.
Why do you think people don't understand?
Well, like people get, like, it's a good thing to get, it's a really good thing to get indulged in the art and stuff. And then you have to realize, like, well, yeah, if you work in your day job or your night job or whatever, and you have to dedicate so much time to that, and then also to your music, you're putting yourself in, I don't know, I guess overdrive. You're working constantly. And what people don't get is, I don't know, some people who might have it as just a hobby and not fussed about making a living and doing it for the rest of your life. But for me, I'm like, I want to do this for the rest of my life, so I have to make it work somehow. And I have to put out what I'm proud of and what people also like can relate to me on, in a sense. And that's where it really comes down to it, is how relatable and open can you be?
Yeah. Because the people when you get like maybe like a music video or like this like say 40 minutes worth of songs, and then they're just like, oh, that's just 40 minutes, where like that 40 minutes was made over like maybe even a year, like of all this like repetitive trying, like being in the studio from like fucking
Sacrificing like a lot of your own time, sacrificing, like no one ever sees that.
And you got to find balance. Balance is key as well. And finding a balance between making music, working, and having friends and family around. It's a huge part too.
What's kind of the more recent things you've learned about the industry that you've implemented into your marketing strategy or just anything in general?
Yeah, I've definitely realized that it is a big fact of just do it yourself. I think you can, like, I am lucky that I have the group around me that have always like willing to push and help and do that, but a lot of people don't have that, as well as if I'm doing it myself and also have those people pushing it, it's going to go a lot further. But yeah, if you do it, just doing it, figuring out ways how to do everything yourself, e.g. making the beat, mix and mastering, doing your vocals, and then, yeah, cover up. That's something I got to get onto, is doing my cover up, but I also want to have other people involved when I do that stuff, because it creates, I don't know, it's how the world works. You got to have some people.
Collaboration is so important. Yeah, definitely.
Can you get them through you and everything? What was the story behind like the Dopamine song? Like, give us that.
Dope. That was just fully having fun. And I was just sitting in the sun one day, just chilling there, and what did I do? I went on this free sample site, found a sample, slowed it down a little bit, and then just, I don't know, it's that one happened really quick. And then I messaged Finn, and luckily he replied and was really keen to get on it, and I was stoked. That's when I first got that back, I was like, oh, this feels good. This feels like a good song. And I was like really enjoying listening to it myself, and that's how you know. If you like to listen to a song that you made, like and you like it, then other people are going to like it. Because it's pretty hard to listen to your own voice sometimes. Sometimes it gets easier as the more you do it. But
a lot of people have the opinion that artists should articulate their vocals in their quote-unquote like native accent. What's your opinion on this, and why do you think people get so triggered when artists come off in a Americanized way?
I just think it's fully done on who your influences are. I don't think the accent is a big problem at all. I think it's more if you're bringing in it's not like I put on an accent. I just have a specific way that I like to rap and like to sound. I have that sound, and that's how my voice, I found, suits it. And that's how I find I get my vibe, and I like that sound, so that's why I do it a lot. But then also, I don't think people should even really care about that, because it doesn't really matter at the end of like at the end of it, if it's a good song, it's a good song.
Well, it's kind of unfair in a way because like we don't have as many people to look up to here. Like with that, like if you wanted to like do that, there's way more people that you actually get to know and like listen to that's not from New Zealand.
Yeah, it's also you're just focusing on one tiny aspect of the whole song. You're not seeing the whole picture as well. So
It's art, like it transcends like social norms or anything. It's like how you want to express yourself.
Art is kind of stealing but improvising your own flavor on it in a way. So every art has to come from somewhere. It's your influences. And what do you do with the influences? You listen to them and you're like, I really like that and I like this guy, so merge that together.
Because you see a lot of artists come out from like New Zealand and Australia and they don't sound like, the typical, like Tom Scott or like, and if anyone wants to sound in like the way they do, that's totally fine.
But Tom Scott is amazing.
Coded. Yeah.
He is untouchable. And a lot of the rappers from New Zealand who have that New Zealand cultural feel are like amazing. They're crazy good at what they do. But it's also, that obviously their influences are a different influence of what mine is. So I find just continue with what you like, and if I'm able to, or if we've got a lot of artists here who are pushing the international level and they don't necessarily have a Kiwi sound, but the point is that they're bringing people into the New Zealand culture just because they are Kiwis, and that's exactly the point of it.
It's only going to grow it. Like that's what people. I feel like people don't get that. It's like whatever you're doing is only going to grow. Like seeing anything.
Yeah, if you can do your own thing, your own sound, and it might not sound completely Kiwi, but the point is that to other people, they're like, oh, he's from New Zealand or he's from Australia or something, and that's in itself brings it. They'll want to look at more New Zealand artists or more Australian artists. I don't understand it.
Maud, she doesn't sound Kiwi when she sings, but everyone knows that she's from New Zealand. Like same with Kid Laroi, he doesn't sound Australian when he sings, but everyone knows he's from Australia. Like,
it's like just your influences are your influences, and you want to find your balance between your influences and yourself, so you can create your own thing.
It's just really annoying because like I got that from like seeing comments on like my stuff, like the cyphers I did and the TikTok stuff, and it's just like they only really target that at people on the come up, and they're just like really picking people apart out of all the stuff they could.
How can you dog someone that's trying? I don't know. I don't get it.
I'm passionate about it too, and like like it's not like I know who you are. Like I know that you're like actually not trying to like do anything weird and anything like that. Like
it's just it's a weird thing.
But it's definitely more love than.
Oh, a lot more love. So much love, man. If we've got a great group here. I got a great friend group. I have a lot of support going my way, and I think a lot of artists do. Some might not, but the thing is they're doing something that they want to do, so why not? They can go hard at it. And you can't dog someone for trying something. It just seems stupid to me.
Is there any New Zealand artists that you would want to collaborate with?
Yeah, of course. Obviously I'd love to work with Sampro, but I've got to figure that one out. And then like you got Will McLean, Reese Rich, even Mikey. There's quite a few that I like. Have all got their own like style that I love to be versatile, so I love to jump on anything, and that's kind of I'd love to work with those guys.
Any internationals you're wanting to reach out to or get on some projects for this year?
Love to get Lord Apex on one. He's one of my favourite rappers. It's crazy. Yeah, Earl Sweatshirt would be a dream. Whew. Earl Sweatshirt, even like a lot of like everyone would love a song with like Travis and bloody blah, like all of that. But I really like that underground, quite niche feel, raw sound, that Apex and Earl Sweatshirt and Armand Hammer and all those kind, like, yeah, just like really raw feel. I think that would be my goal.
What's coming up next for Rob the Bank?
Graph-wise and Rob the Bank putting a mixtape out. I'm hoping into Feb. Definitely a single in Feb, but yeah, that'll be awesome. Got some special features on there. One special feature.
All right, this has been Rob the Bank for Insanity Pod. Links in bio, check him out. Like, subscribe. Thanks for coming in, bro. Shout out Cheeky.
Next time I had the water store,
Yep.
here's some cheekies.
Let's go.